My name is Nathan Smith. You can find me on Twitter at CoffeeNate. I have a website, coffeenate.com. Yeah, it was funny. Anyway, I spent 13 years in a Michigan prison as an employee. I always like to use that one. It's stupid, but it works. Hey, anyway, I started in affiliate marketing in 2007. Didn't even own a computer until then, and it's just like I work in a prison. I don't want to. What am I going to do? I need a computer thingy to get on the internets. So that's what I did, and figured some things out, and things are going well. Founded Zynali Marketing Solutions, a digital marketing agency. Because of my success on using social media, I kept getting questions, so hey, start a business, charge people money for it. In the affiliate space, I work with FMTC. They're a client of mine. I manage their online marketing, and they're a bunch of great people. Woo! Pinnacle Award winners. Anyway, I'm not a guru or an expert. I just share what works for me and help organizations create viable strategies. So I get my hands in there and I do it myself. It's not like a lot of the Facebook expert guru people. They're excellent speakers. I'm not. But, you know, maybe in 2007, they were on Facebook and they figured some things out, and now they're not on the platform themselves. They're just repeating things their interns find out and listen to other people, and in turn, not always the best information. Oh, there's a picture of my 3 kids. So this whole thing is predicated on when I speak with people, I give them little tips, things I think everybody knows, and I hear, I didn't know you could do that. So these are some of those things. FB.com can be used as a URL shortener for Facebook. So any Facebook URL, fb.com/whatever works. Update the image description title for your published post. So if you make this great content, you publish it on Facebook, you're like, oh, I got to get it out there. And then you realize, oh, man, I misspelled something in my image, or my title's wrong. My description has a bunch of funky characters in it. Before, you would have to delete it, re-share it, and Facebook's like, well, yeah, whatever. You did this twice, so we're gonna fine you, and then it never gets as good a reach. Now you can go and make the edits on your website. Go to developers.facebook.com/tools/debug. Just look up debugger tool Facebook and force them to rescrape it. And then you can go to the post that you already published on Facebook, click the time date stamp. It takes you to a page with just that post on it. Click the drop down on the right-hand side, and there will be an option for refresh share attachment. So as long as you made Facebook rescrape your page, it will show the updated information on the post that you've already published. That's also helpful if you say you're doing the Facebook advertising, they smash you because you had more than 20% in your image, although they're changing that, but you're like, well, now what? You can go back, update that image, update your OG image, and then be good to go with your ads. All right, you can invite people who like your page post to like your page. So when you see this person, and 500 other people like your post, you can click that number, and it brings up this light box, and next to people's names has a little invite button available. And the invite comes from your page unless they're a friend of yours. If they're a friend of yours, it comes from your personal profile. And when they go back to your page, there's a call to action there. This person or this page invited you to like their page. Like the shares of your page's posts. So when you go to your page and your post level, you see X number of shares. You click that, it brings up a light box of all your shares. You can like those or show an emotion for those public shares. You can only see the public shares. So if it says 500 people shared it, you may only see 50 or 100. So I scroll through all of them, and I usually click love on all of them. Unless I'm talking about my grandpa dying or something like that, and then, yeah, I'm not going to love that. Anyway, that was horrible. Anyway, all of that activity that happens on the shared post gets attributed back to the original post. So that's why the algorithm likes it. You kind of give their post a boost, but it also turns around and helps out your original post. This is Facebook's customer service as of a couple years ago. Yeah, Google it, because that's the only way you're going to find an answer. You could not call them. You'd call them and get this phone number that was just ridiculous. Hey, guess what? We don't answer the phone here. That's what it said. And there was no real email. But now you can get a human. They have live chat and email. So it's not the best, but you can actually get to a person now. It's facebook.com/business/resources. And I don't know if it's only available for people who have ads accounts, but they've changed it. It used to be they're going to only give you this service to answer ads questions. And I would go around that by starting with an ads question I already knew the answer for. But they always close with, what else can I help you with? Well, yeah, here's my real problem. I can't share links, something's happening, somebody spamming or something. Anyway, so the chat box might not be available. If you look at like Sunday night at midnight, it's not going to be there. But if you go Monday through Friday, business hours, it's usually there. All right, so we already covered that. Now, when you click on the live chat, there's these different actions. Most of them are ads related, but some of them are features with your pages and groups, that sort of thing. You can PM people, private message people who comment or post on your page. If they go to your page and post, before you had to have this public interaction, and people are giving you account numbers and phone numbers, email addresses. It's just ridiculous. Even if you tell them, send us a private message, people don't listen. So now you can send a private message. So publicly acknowledge that you've read their message so that other people that visit your page don't think you ignored them. So yeah, blah, 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 I'm going to send you a private message, and we'll get that taken care of right away. Deal with them privately, and then after they're happy, have them go back and write an update on that public post. All right, here's an option that some people still don't know is available. You can save any post on Facebook for later, which is good if you're supposed to be working and instead you're scrolling through Facebook and you're like, oh, you see an article that you think is interesting, but you don't have time to read it right now. Instead of trying to remember who it was or what the article was, you can click the drop-down arrow and save it. Also, you can turn on post notifications instead of having to click like or comment with a period, which is what a lot of people do. And what that does is, maybe this particular post about taking Viagra to keep the sheets off your legs when you have sunburn isn't something you want your grandmother to see that you commented on. So you can just turn on post notifications, and you'll get notified when other people comment or interact with the post rather than having to share with other people. And then if you save, let's say you're saving that article to read later, Facebook will send you an email. Hey, you had some saved items this week. You didn't read them. Here's the link. And it also saves in the sidebar of your news feed. Learn your competitors' targeting strategy. So if you see an ad from your competitors on Facebook, and actually if you see any ad, but using it for competitors is a great way. Follow their page, see what they're doing. When you get their ads, you can click the drop down. Whenever you see a sponsored instead of the time date stamp, there's a drop down on the right hand side. Click that. Click the why am I seeing this ad, and it will tell you what the targeting criteria was that was used to reach you. At least 2 factors of it anyway, so it gives you an idea. Okay, and in that vein, like in personal land, if you like a lot of pages, you could be annoying people and it's not your fault. Like I had a friend that liked Wix, Wix.com. Yeah, that's an ad for a horrible company. But anyway, so she liked Wix's page, and I saw the same freaking ad every time I was on Facebook. The same one, every day, for 2 weeks, and I just about exploded. And I sent her a message. I'm like, can you do me a favor? Just unlike that page. Just if you really want to say something to them, you go to their page and say something later, but I don't think you like them that much. Anyway, so you can turn off the social actions paired with ads for your name. So you won't have people seeing Nathan likes Victoria's Secret. You should buy some panties there or something. Like, yeah, I don't want that association, so just turn that off. It's pretty easy. Audience restrictions, preferred audience. You can restrict your audience on an organic level. So say you're posting something like on Coffee Nate's page. Last week, the University of North Texas, UNT, released a new coffee cup that was, the UNT was a little too close to the handle. So it looked like it spelled a word. So I shared that, but I didn't use the 13 to 18-year-olds. So 19 plus, that's the only people who could see that restriction. So yeah, people's parents and whatnot wouldn't be very happy with you if they saw their 13-year-old, you know, seeing a questionable post. You can also use gender and geographic region and language. So that is restricting. When you do that, that is who is going to be able to see it. Preferred audience is for the newsfeed only. So whereas restricting the audience, even if a 13-year-old went to Coffee Nate's Facebook page, they would not be able to see that post. Your preferred audience is newsfeed only. So you can define your preferred audience based on interests, and that is who your post organically is going to roll out to more likely on the newsfeed. And it seems to be with the more effort you put forth in defining that audience, the more effective your posts are going to be. They're going to reach more people. Page messaging features, you can set up, so people can send your page a message. You can turn it off for a period of 12 hours. Also, you can set up automated replies. So if somebody, the first time they message your page, you can set it up where they'll get a welcome message and let them know what to expect. It's like, okay, well, if you're this kind of person, I read your message, but you're probably not going to hear back from me. If you're a normal user, then yeah, I'd like to connect with you and whatnot. You can also set up greetings that display in Messenger before the person even types their message to you. And these can all be personalized with the user's name and your website's URL as well. Right now they have these messenger codes they started using. They're really useless right now. I think they thought Snapchat was cool, but maybe someday that they'll be useful. Not today. Set anticipated response time, so you see that typically responds within an hour or within minutes or within a month. I mean, you can set it yourself. You don't have to let Facebook use the default. So you can make yourself look really great, but if you tell people you usually respond within minutes, it might look cool until you don't respond for 3 days and their expectations were you were going to reply within minutes, and they're sitting around and now they're stewing about it. So be realistic about your response time. But that you get to that by clicking on your settings and then messages, or in your messages there's a little eye at the bottom of the page. Click that and it gives you the response assistant and messenger code. So that's what we just talked about. Mention a trending topic to get a bump because of mentioning a popular topic. You see those trending stories on the right-hand side of the page all the time. They're usually ridiculous things, but sometimes they're newsworthy. If you post about that, Facebook knows it. They have little monkeys that read or something. I don't know. Somehow their little computer systems know what you posted about. And people click the trending story, and your public story could come up in their organic feed that way. So be on the lookout for trending stories that have something to do with your niche or company. You could have missed mentions or activity associated with your page. Every once in a while I just give a look. I click notifications and then activity, and then below there's mentions and shares. Sometimes people make comments and comment and tag your page or tag your page in a post. Sometimes you miss those notifications, and you can find some of them there. Here's some last minute tips. There's an infographic that was put out by WordStream that that shows all of the targeting options available for Facebook advertising. Sometimes when you're in the platform itself and you're going through all the different categories, you can't wrap your head around all the options. This infographic was a nice way to visualize that audience a little bit better. You can also see what categories your page's audience fits into by going to Ads Manager, click Audience, and then Audience Insights, and then it will compare your Facebook audience as opposed to the general Facebook audience at large. So you get to understand the interests, the demographics, and know what type of content, get ideas of what type of content they're going to be more interested in. You learn how much money they make and what kind of jobs they have, all that sort of stuff. Use an unpublished page as a staging environment for updating your cover and profile images or testing out, different aspect ratios for images. This is a good tip. It's just a throwaway page. It's not published. And, I'm working on a client's new cover image, and I have the template, and this is where all the things should be. But sometimes you go and upload it, and it does not play out that way when you make it live. So then you look like an idiot by going back and forth and changing it again, and then people are getting notifications 3 times that you changed your profile picture. Just avoid all that by having the staging environment. So these slides and resources mentioned can be found at zynali.com/ASE16. I wrote a blog post that details everything that we talked about today, and also has the slides embedded in the post as well. So if you missed something, you can cover it there. And we can take some questions if you have some. Ann?
Are there features available on mobile that aren't available on desktop? Are there any?
Yeah, there are. I mean, I can't list them right now, but I know I've looked for things and I'm like, where the hell is it on the mobile app? And it's different between iPhone and Android in the mobile browser as well. And in the Pages, there's a Pages app too.
Right.
So
is there one that you prefer to others, or method you prefer to others?
I use desktop because unless I'm on the road, then I'm usually using the desktop and use Power Editor or the Ads Manager if I'm running ads. It's never, maybe that's why they just updated the Ads app, because nobody uses it. I don't know, because it's just the options are limited. Sir?
Yes, when you were talking earlier about liking the people who liked your posts and going through there and getting all those, or inviting them to like your page, is there like a limit on how much you can do there? Because when I joined groups at one point, I joined too many, and I guess I went to Facebook jail. I mean, is there a penalty if I went through and did hundreds or thousands of those?
Right. So the question is, I'm sorry, I'm supposed to repeat these questions. And I'm going to do all this right now before I forget again. If you fill out the speaker feedback, that'd be great. You get entered into a drawing for 5 free passes. I don't know if it's per day. Anyway, 5 entries will be randomly drawn to receive a Networking Plus pass with 3 session tickets each day. So today, tomorrow, and the next day. So submit those. That'd be great. And the question is, when you're inviting people to like your page from the likes, and when you're liking the shared posts as well, I've never had any kind of limit from liking the posts that were shared, and I've never tested the limits on inviting people. I mean, I use my head when it comes to that sort of thing. Your audience is the most important thing, and who your audience is made up of. So kind of vet them. If it's all a bunch of squiggles and when you're reading their name and you have a brick and mortar shop down the street, it might not be the person who lives next door to you. So just make sure it's an audience that's applicable to your business and your page, whatever your niche is. Any other questions? No questions. Oh, okay.
Is there a way to post to a number of groups at a time?
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear that.
Well, I happened this week, and I was wondering if there's a way to publish to a number of Facebook groups at a time.
Oh, Facebook groups, I typically use Sharist for anything I use for automated or scheduling. And with those third-party tools, you can only publish to groups that you are an admin of. So if you're a member of a group, Facebook does not allow you now to automate through a third party to post to a group because obviously lots of spam. Any other questions? It could be about Facebook, anything. It doesn't have to be about these. Oh, Mike.
Do you recommend welcoming your new page likes, sending them a welcome message or thank you or anything like that?
The question is, do I recommend sending a welcome message to people who like my page? I did this, in 2009, but it comes from your personal profile, so it's a little dicey. And right now, I don't even think they'd even see it, to tell you the truth. So it might be a wasted effort. But, I mean, it showed personalization back then. Now it's just probably annoying. But setting up the automated replies, I think that's helpful, and it sets expectations. Ma'am?
So there's obviously some amount of time that you can still edit something you've published to your page, the actual text of the Facebook update. And I know at some point it goes from being something you can edit to something you can't edit.
When you run an ad on it.
Okay.
And then you'd have to, even if you run an ad and you're like, damn it, I got to fix this. You can shut the ad off, delete the ad, then it's editable again. You can fix it and then rerun your ad.
Something was supposed to go to a PDF the other day and somehow that didn't work.
Oh.
It's great, it's been boosted, people have shared it, and there's nothing attached to it.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, do some redirects and fix it. Other questions? Back there?
You were mentioning looking at competitors' pages goes to the targeting strategy. Is there any way to hide that information for your own personal gain?
What you can hide, you can control what personal information of your own profile is doing, but not your page's profile. I mean, as far as I know, that's just what you're into. But if you're using 7 levels of, targeting, they're not going to list all that. It's just a generalized, okay, they want to reach people who live in, and then they name your city, who are the age between this and that, and also may have visited their web page within the last 6 months. So it gives you some insight, but I hope that's not the only criteria they're using. Other questions? We're getting close on time anyway. Yeah. All right. Thanks a lot. I don't, if we have time for one more question, if you have a question, but other than that, we are done here. And I'll be available to chat privately or whatever. Thank you.